Hey guys, Philmington here. This video I'm going to be talking about my most recent show that I did, and I'm going to be revealing an epically, legendarily epic modern card. So first with the show, had an awesome show, sold a bunch of stuff. I feel like half my vintage case is gone. I found a couple whales that both bought like $800 to $1,200 worth of stuff. So really awesome. A few of the Jackie Robinsons I showed on a recent video. 3 of the 6 are now gone. I sold an Ernie Banks 56 tops PSA 7. A couple Rivera cards. I guess this was a lesson to me that I should make a more conscious effort to reprice some of the cards of players that are prone to news that could positively or negatively affect their values, because I did not realize that when Rivera got unanimously elected to go to the Hall, that his rookie card 92 Bowman would like surge in value ridiculously. So I had a BGS 8.5 as well as a BCCG 10. So those both sold. I sold a Beltre 97 Bowman Chrome and a BGS 9.5. A bunch of Jeter rookie cards, the upper deck ones. AJ Pollock 2009 Bowman Chrome. Autograph refractor and a BGS 9.5 with quad 9s. That sold. I sold a Mike Trout 2011 Bowman Chrome non-auto. I think it was the draft one. Bunch of singles. Sold a couple cards to Jay McGillicuddy, YouTube's Jay McGillicuddy. I sold a 1933 Gaudy Joe Judge and a PSA 6. I sold a 69 top Steve Carlton and a PSA 9. A Fernando Tatis 2016 Bowman Chrome autograph in a BGS 9. I sold some product, Topps Update 2018. Was able to get a decent amount of money for that. That's a great value, by the way, if you're breaking a box. And I sold a one mantle, 57 Topps. I think it was an SGC 3. I sold my Jimmy Fox, which got rejected by PSA. I guess it wasn't a 3. That was a 33 Gaudy. I sold my Hank Aaron rookie card, probably the card I wanted to hold on to the most, but, you know, as they say, every card has its price. And I was able to sell, actually, 2001 Topps Ichiro rookie card, which was absolutely destroyed. I did an experiment probably about 10 or 15 videos ago where I tried to see if I could salvage any of the cards that were stuck together in those packs. I failed, so that Ichiro went for about $1. And I did sell various singles. Rookie card explosion box did not fare as well. I did sell one. I did get some interest. I did give out the flyer to a bunch of people who were interested. But I think with the rookie card explosion box, like a lot of things that have to do with the hobby, it's very visual. And, you know, if you're not seeing the products that are put in the boxes, and if you're not seeing, you know, people open the boxes and getting excited with the pulls and the packs and the cards that they're getting out of those, then maybe it's not quite the same. So I still think that there will be some demand, and you know, the ability for me to increase my margins by selling at the shows really interests me. So it's really, you know, I have the boxes in possession, so it's really just a matter of, do I have the space on the table to do that? So I'm going to still roll those out and see if I can get more people to pick up some of those. So I do still have some volume 1 boxes left for the shows, as well as I believe 2 on YouTube for YouTubers, or the YouTube audience, I should say, not just people that have channels. But you know, and there's also that aspect about the rapport. You know, even though the person's looking at me face to face, I feel like I've developed a rapport already through YouTube. People trust me. People have referred, you know, me to other people, and people have seen others that have gotten pretty good cards, and trust me that I'm not just, you know, piecing together a bunch of packs that I know don't have autographs. Because in Volume 1, you know, a bunch of autographs were already pulled, so I think I've already passed that. But when you're selling at shows, you know, a lot of the people that you face off against, like, they're not gonna have known or met you before, or have recognized you, especially me, who I'm very new to the whole show thing. So maybe that's a barrier I'll have to overcome. But all right, so without further ado, I wanted to show you that modern pickup that I have. It is awesome. Just got it in last week. Sorry about that, guys. I thought it was well warranted, though. In front of us, a 2010 Bowman Chrome autograph, Nolan Arenado in a blue refractor, numbered to 150. Just a beautiful card. Sometimes, guys, you got to react on the news, and it works that way in the stock market, too. If there's news out there that affects the security in a positive or negative way, sometimes you make investment decisions on that. And in this case, I made an investment decision on this card. Now, in this case, the rumors may have been baseless, which I found out a couple days after I made the purchase. But I think, I think there could be a little bit of truth to that. The Yankees have done this before, where they decided to pass on the clear top free agent candidate, Johan Santana, in favor of CC Sabathia, and they targeted him quite hard and made sure they got him. Machado, he's got some flags, yellow flags. Some people might call them red flags. Great player, still very young, great offensively and defensively. But what does he lack? He might not be the best clubhouse guy. He might not be the best leader. The Yankees back in the mid to late 90s, they had a lot of role players on that team with the quote-unquote intangibles. Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez just had a great camaraderie, and Brian Cashman is definitely cognizant of that era and how those players meshed and what that meant with success on the field. And maybe he's, would it be completely ridiculous to think that he might consider, trading for Arenado a year before he becomes a free agent? No, I don't think that's ridiculous at all. If any team is able to make that happen, it is the Yankees. They're pretty stocked still from a minor league perspective, and they're known to just do whatever they want to get whoever they want. Now, the Rockies are playoff contenders this year, so the challenge in acquiring Arenado before he becomes a free agent is that the Rockies would probably want something back. So why would they do that when they could just get Machado as a free agent and not have to give up any players? Well, I'll tell you this. We're approaching February, and they still haven't signed anybody big. Yeah, they've signed a lot of important bullpen arms as well as James Paxton, but I mean, we haven't seen them make the splash that they usually make when they have the capacity. And I think they still have the capacity. So, having said all that, Arenado is just a terrific player. 40 home runs, 130 RBIs in the bank, the best defensive third baseman in the game. Again, could likely be a better clubhouse guy than Machado. Definitely a good leader, other than like Aaron Judge and Brett Gardner. And forgive me if I'm missing people. I'm not a Yankees fan, but I think they could benefit from Arenado's experience. And I mean, he's 27, so that makes him young enough to still be able to contribute for 5 to 7 years. And he's got those intangibles too, which is really cool because he's kind of been the guy on the Rockies, and he's probably one of the older offensive players on that team, just because it is a fairly young team. But this card I got for $707 after shipping. Honestly, I think I got a pretty good price. So with eBay, a little tip here. A lot of people just overlook the buy it nows and the buy it nows with best offers, and they think that the best deals to be had are on the auctions. And you know what? You're probably right. I think most of the good deals are via auction. But what does that do? That makes it so there's more people that just gloss over the buy it now listings. A lot of cases, you'll have buy it nows that are just priced too high that have best offer options, and a lot of people just don't make offers to those listings because they think that they're just priced too high. But in some cases, you can make an offer of 40%, 50 or 60% of that listed price, and then they'll accept the offer, or they might be able to meet you halfway. And in some cases, in this case, so it was a buy it now without a best offer feature, it had about 17 watchers when I purchased it. And I noticed that the amount of watchers was increasing a couple weeks leading up to me purchasing the item. And I think that a good rule is, there are exceptions to this, but if there is an item that's listed at buy it now, fixed price with no best offer possibility, and it has a lot of watchers, there's a really good chance that it's priced close to its intrinsic value, close to its actual market value. Sure, there's cases where the item's been listed for 6 to 8 months and it's just like accumulated a bunch of watchers that have just forgotten to unwatch it. Or there could be a case of a really high-end card like a Red Refractor 1 Soto Bowman Chrome autograph, and it's listed like 3 times what it's actually worth at like 100K, and people are like, oh, I want to know what that like goes for, because that'd be cool to like kind of just have an understanding of what that goes for. But I think most cases, if something's got a lot of watchers and it's just a fixed price, buy it now, then there's a good chance it's close to its value. And, you know, there's a lot of ways to value a refractor Bowman Chrome autograph with blue. And some of you might know this that collect Bowman Chrome autographs, but the multiplier is usually about 3 to 4 times what the base Bowman Chrome autograph would be going for. So I was certainly looking at that, and that validated that the price that I paid was pretty good. This card's raw, so there's a risk there. It had no return policy, which is something that you definitely look for. I look for when I buy high-end modern or vintage cards raw. It's always good to have some sort of return policy, some sort of peace of mind. I did reach out to him ahead of time before I made the purchase. I asked him if he thought there was any chance possible that it was a BGS 9. Because, you know, there's only so much you can tell from the eBay pictures, the scan. And he told me that he couldn't see anything wrong with the card, and he thinks it's at least a solid 9. So I'm going to make sure that I think the card's worth at least a 9, because that's sort of misrepresentation if I get it and it's like clearly an 8. I mean, I'm not a professional, but and you guys saw the card up close, there is a horizontal scratch over by the autograph, but it's very small. And there are some, he called them refractor lines. They're not that noticeable. Those are usually going to be vertical. And of the corners, the card actually looks better centered in person. It looks like it could get like a 9.5 sub if I was to send this to Beckett. But the corners, I have 3 sharp corners and one's kind of soft. So I think, all in all, I think it does have a chance to be a 9. I don't think it's definitely a 9, but it's definitely worth owning at that price. And I'm happy with it. But just knowing that it could be a 9, but it might not be, you know, there's no reason for me to submit that for grading. To me, it's worth plenty to me and to prospective buyers in its current form, especially if I'm selling this at shows when they can see it up close. I'll probably never take it out of this mag ever again, by the way. So I know there might be some comments on that, the way I was handling it, but made sure to put no fingerprints on it or anything. But yeah, just a sweet card. Really happy to add it to the PC. And yeah, hopefully you liked what you saw. Like, comment, subscribe. Do you got to do. Thanks, guys.